Hey fam, welcome back to Building a Farm with me, Snayela. Snayela is myself and I am building a farm. Okay, so guys, I'm at home, right, in my growing site. So I was like, I'm gonna show you the spinach update, my spinach production update. But I was like, no man, I still owe you guys a video, right? There is a video that I had forgot to actually post. I didn't forget, but I was actually delaying posting it because I wanted you to visualize. I wanted you to see for yourself the reason why I decided to no longer grow on plastic bags, right? Because I'm no longer growing in plastic bags, I'm growing straight from the soil, right? So instead of me explaining things to you, I wanted you to actually see for yourself, right? So the time when I was actually planting the spinach on the soil, I also planted some few spinaches on the plastic planter bags, and I also planted some other plants on the plastic bag because I wanted you to see the difference and the outcomes, and these outcomes will actually testify to my reason and be evidence to my reason and support my reason why I decided not to no longer grow on the plastic bags, right? So with all due respect, this is my experience. This is my definition, my reason. This is my outcomes. Things I've pinpointed or picked up through my experience trying to grow stuff and to farm. So I'm not trying to backlash anyone or anything, but this is just my experience. Enjoy the video, guys. So I'm gonna try and explain the story of the organic compost and the plastic bags, right? Why I stopped growing there. So the problem here is that the organic compost that is used, basically, I bought it, right? So the ones that is the organic compost that I bought, it's mainly manufactured by big companies, right? So those big companies will use what? They compost they compost wood, right? They compost wood to make organic compost, right? So the way this organic compost is made, it does not contain any beneficial microbes like the soil. Soil has beneficial microbes to provide to the plants. Number two, it doesn't have any nutrition that it'll provide to the plants. It's just blunt organic compost. So every time you're gonna have to, when you use the organic compost, you're gonna have to add fertilizer like every week, if not daily, depending on how you're growing, right? You go in order to provide the plants with the nutritional qualities that it needs or the resources that it needs. You're going to have to add fertilizer frequently, right? Because organic compost that is manufactured does not have beneficial microbes, and it does not have any nutritional value, doesn't contribute any nutritional value to the plants. So it is okay to use organic compost to grow seedlings only, but you cannot, for the life of yourself and the plants, you cannot use it to grow plants and think the plants will thrive and not unless if you mix the organic compost with other stuff, but alone it's a zero, it's a no, right? So unlike the soil is a natural source, right? It'll provide all of these nutritional contents that the plants need, and also it has those it has those beneficial microbes, right, that live in the soil that actually give a good benefit, like the name it says. It gives a good contributory to the plants, So basically, as you can see, this is just decomposed wood. You see, it has been turned into organic matter for your to grow seedlings, to grow seeds into seedlings. You cannot, for the life of yourself, use it for anything else, unless if you mix it with other growing mediums. If you want your plants to thrive, you see, if you want your plants to grow well, this is just old wood. So do not use organic compost that is bought in stores to grow your plants. If you want your plants to actually succeed and grow in all its stages, from seedling to to flowering to fruitation, then growing in store-bought organic compost will delay the process. So I realized this later in my life. I wasted a lot of money using organic compost. While I was supposed to, yes, organic compost, there's nothing wrong with organic compost that is bought from the store. But if you're going to use it alone, make sure you only use it alone if you want to grow seedlings. That's the only time. But if you think you're going to plant a tomato plant and thinking within the next 3 months you're going to have a tomato fruit, you have to add another 3 months on top of that. So it's basically going to be 6 months and 6 months worth of you buying fertilizers, because the organic compost doesn't provide any nutritional qualities to your plants, right? But if you do soil compost yourself, that's another different story, because the one that you make yourself and the one that you bought in stores are two complete different products. Honey, if you make your own soil compost, that one is the best of the best. The best of the best. So I would encourage people to actually make their own soil compost instead of buying, because the one that is bought is not the one. Another example, guys, that I want you to see is this lettuce. The name of this lettuce is iceberg lettuce. It's the one that forms lettuce heads, like the cabbage heads, yeah. But it's been almost 4 weeks growing this lettuce, but still no cabbage heads have been formed. Nothing. Why? Because I grew using soil compost, and soil compost, it does not have those nutritional qualities that are needed by the plants. So as you can see, the plant, it's still in leaf form. It's still in leafy form. No heads has been formed. And if you know your lettuces, guys, by this time it's supposed to be lettuce heads formed like exactly the size of my fist, at least. But nothing has been happening, because I grew using organic compost, and all the stages of the plants will not be successfully met, because the organic compost that is store-bought does not meet all the requirements that are needed by the plants to grow. So another thing that I want to touch base on when it comes to me using organic compost, besides the fact that I've used it a lot whilst growing leafy vegetables such as your spinach leaves, lettuce leaves, right? The one that does not form heads. I use it a lot when I grow those type of vegetables, and they will thrive, right? But when it comes to a plant that grows fruits, it's a no-go area, and I realized that recently, right, after I've built the greenhouse. So another reason which had actually made me to believe, if I use organic compost, I'm good to go, it is the American YouTube influence, right? I watch a lot of YouTube videos, right? And those YouTube videos, I draw inspiration from them, like to grow stuff. And to be honest, in South Africa, we barely have my YouTube videos or YouTube content based on agriculture, farming, crop production, like it's right now at this point that I'm seeing we now have content when it comes to YouTube, agricultural YouTube in South Africa, right? But basically, so I used to draw inspiration from them, and it's now that I realize, man, whenever they use organic compost, this organic compost, that I realize now, the organic compost that they use is not the same organic compost that we use, right? The organic compost they buy in stores is not the same as the organic compost that we buy from stores in South Africa. The products are not the same. The brands are not the same. So, akfan, right? Bona they have in America or in Europe or whatever country, but which is besides South Africa, the type of organic compost that they have is the one composes of all the trace elements that the plant needs, whether it's micro or macro elements. It composes of that. See, another ones that we have in South Africa, which is store-bought, it does not have those trace elements. It's just decomposed wood. And funny enough, they actually do write in those packages, in those organic compost packages, with just solely for pot plants. So I chose to maize that for some odd reason, because I had experience growing, leafy greens with that, and it was successful. But when it comes to, a production of this size, it's a different story. And then when it comes to a product in South Africa of organic compost, it's not the same as the American brands. But now they have all the types of organic compost, which has all the types of nutritional qualities. See, now we don't. If you want to have that type of organic compost, which has all these trace elements that the plants needs, you're gonna have to make one yourself. Whether you do the chicken manure, goat manure, cow manure, horse manure, compost tea from all of these type of manures, or whether you doing my kitchen waste or yabo, so that the earthworms will do the work, yabo. You gotta have to do it yourself, yabo. So American YouTube is a good one for the influencing of a farming and agriculture and how to DIY stuff, do things yourself, this and that. But honey, the products are not the same. So we have to familiarize ourselves with our own products so that we can be able to maximize our own production with our own products, with our own way, right? We can draw inspiration from them, but the products that we use will not be the same. Therefore, the outcomes will not be the same. Amongst other things, I don't want you guys to have this mentality of I am actually discriminating South African brands. No, that's not me. I'm just giving you a description of my journey or the experience that I actually have. Yeah, but the realistic view of it. But what I know, organic compost brands of this country, they play a huge role in the farming industry. For instance, I know one of the properties that they have is they improve the soil structure, they improve water retention, they eliminate soil erosion. The list goes on and on. It gives a good pathway to root development for the plants. The list goes on and on. But they do not have those beneficial microbes and trace nutritional trace elements that the plants need. Yeah, but the organic matter that they contain is amazing, and it is beneficial to the plants and the soil in many ways, but just not this one part. Yeah, so that's why I had to close. Had to abort mission. Right, there was a time when I actually did a video, right? No, not a video, but I was posting videos like I post in my YouTube channel. So when I do stuff, some other people find inspiration, right? And one of the girls, I'm gonna put her comments somewhere here on the screen. She commented and she said that her spinach that is growing on organic compost is not growing nicely, or is not thriving as compared to the spinaches growing on the soil. And I had question marks about that. But I was confused. But at the same time, I was like, she might be onto something, because I'm seeing amanya makakaramba. At that time I was still using my organic compost. I was like, ngibona amanya makakaramba here while using this organic compost, and it makes sense, right? It makes sense. So kudos to her. She tried to warn me. I don't know if it was a warning or if it was a concern. Baby girl, you were right. I was wrong. But we're all learning. I figured this is the reason, actually, right? Anything that has leafy greens, you can use organic compost. But if you're thinking you're gonna use organic compost to grow a plant that has fruits, never ever ditch. Abort mission. This is my life-saving statement, or this is me consoling myself and admitting reverse. Abort mission. That was wrong, and make amends. Ditch the organic compost. Don't even waste your time. Don't waste your money. Use soil. So fam, there is nothing wrong with the plastic bags. Grow in the plastic bags. You can grow anything you want in the world. Any fruit, any vegetable, anything, bruh, like anything. There's nothing wrong with the bags. If you find the right bag with the right size for the right plant, grow with the bags, right? The problem is what you use in the bags. You better make sure with your growing medium, the choice of growing medium is the right one. And you gotta use the right ratios. So that's my closing statement. Nothing wrong with the bags, but it's all in the growing medium. It's all in the growing medium, the ratios, the types, so on and so forth. So you better find what is good for you.